friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time, and as promised, I wanted to come back to do a quick review on the Darn Tough socks. Now keep in mind, I've only been wearing them for about 5 weeks now, so I'll probably be doing another update down the road if things change. And mostly I've been wearing the same 2 pairs, these 2 here, every day. I mean, I have the 2 pairs so I can switch off and have 1 pair in the wash and the other pair to wear. And I've been trying to stick to that as much as possible so that I can get a better idea on the wear time, because I can be pretty hard on socks. And so far I am very, very happy with these socks. There's and yes, I realize it's only been 5 weeks and that might not be a long enough time to really do a good review. But from what I've learned just in the time that I've been wearing them and reading some more reviews and learning more about the company, I, at this point, can still highly recommend these socks. And again, I'll update you down the road if any of this changes at all. And here's the reason why at even such a short wear time that I feel that I can do this. And one is, as I said, I'm pretty hard on socks. And so I can usually tell if I'm wearing the same 2 pairs over and over, I can usually tell within a month how well they're going to hold up. So aside from just noticing that the wear, I'm not feeling any thinness yet, which I would by now in a cheaper pair of socks. There's some other reasons why at this point I would highly recommend it based on what I've learned. But first, let me talk about a couple of things that I don't like as much about the socks, but they're not anything that affects the integrity of the sock, just more of a minor annoyance. And that is the way they pick up little pieces of wood and lint and string a lot more so than my other wool blend type socks do. And they don't wash out really well, so you'll see a lot of little pieces here and there. There is a little bit of pilling on these, but not bad. Most of what you're seeing on these socks, you can really see it on the pair that I got for Patrick. This is the first pair I bought him because I'm so happy with them. I'm starting to buy some for him too. And you can see these, they're supposed to be black, but there's a lot of lint and stuff that just, it tends to stick like glue. Now, if you dry your clothes or your socks in the dryer, that's going to help pull a lot of that out anyway. But since I hang up our clothes to dry, that's one of the reasons why you're going to see a lot more of the lint and stuff stuck to the socks. That's one benefit about a dryer. And sometimes what I'll do with some things is I'll run it in the dryer for a time to help pull a lot of that out and then hang it up to dry the rest of the way. But for my socks, I'm not that concerned about it, unless the little pieces of wood are poking into my foot, and then I just pick them out. Anyway, back to the other 2 main reasons why I still, even this early in the game, highly recommend the Darn Tough brand, is that at least as for those of you who live in the US. If you live in other countries, you may have a brand you prefer that's made in your own country, but the Darn Tough socks are made here in the United States. And I could definitely say that the ones that I bought in the past, even the ones that I reviewed in that previous video, those ones I'm positive were made in China. I don't recall if they said, but I'm pretty sure that they were. And those are the same ones they sell at Costco. And usually I trust a lot of the stuff that Costco will sell. They usually sell high quality stuff. And they're still decent socks, especially for the price, but they're made in China and they do wear out about as quick as I thought for the price that they were. Now, the other benefit besides being made in Vermont, USA, as it says right there, you can see right there at the top, they're also guaranteed for life. And I don't think you're going to find that very often on socks. Now, my favorite socks before these ones were the Smart Wool, but I started noticing the quality of the Smart Wool had been going down. It used to be those things also lasted forever. Because I have an old pair that I'm certain were made in the late 80s because my baby brother wore them for a while and then handed them down to me when he grew out of them. I think he was about 8 when he grew out of them. And I've worn them many times since. And they've only just, in all of these years, it's probably been at least 25 years, they've only just started to get a little tiny hole right along the side, right here. but not in the sole at all, where I always wear my holes. They wear in the heel and eventually on the ball of the foot is where I tend to wear holes. And that's how good they used to be, but now the ones that I bought in more recent years have started getting holes, and I've had to start darning them, which was really disappointing, because the other thing about that is the price of the Smart Wool socks has doubled since, because I was thinking about buying some more. When I saw that the price had doubled and their quality had lowered, I decided I was done with them. And so what happened was, a lot of people, because of that video I shot last year, had told me about the Darn Tough socks, and I said, okay, I'll look into them. And I was a little set back by the price, because it was the same as the Smart Wool price, and I'm just like, man, it just, to me, I don't even pay that much for a shirt or a pair. Well, I don't wear pants, but I make my own leggings and I make my own skirts, but I don't pay that much for shirts or anything else, because most of the stuff is either secondhand. Like, actually both the things I'm wearing once belonged to my youngest son, and you know, he's grown out of them, and so now they're mine. And so the t-shirt and the sweatshirt, or they're things I buy at garage sale, or I find on extreme, you know, really reduced prices at the stores. But for me to pay this much for a pair of socks was really a big step for me. However, I'm so pleased with this. The fact that I can buy socks like this and get a lifetime guarantee on it, and they're made in the United States, I decided was worth it. So not only am I supporting a company that's actually located and things are made here in my own country, I'm getting a lifetime guarantee. I did do some looking, and here's the other thing, is when you look on Amazon and you look at the reviews, the Darn Tough socks are one of the few things that you will see consistent 5-star reviews on. I mean, usually when you see the total star rating of anything, if it's a good product, it's going to be 4.5 stars. But most of their socks, especially the thicker ones, are a consistent 5 stars, no matter if it's got well over 1,000 ratings or as little as 3 or 4 ratings. That's a pretty good indicator. And then if you take your time, and this should go with any product you're looking at, to really read the negative reviews to see, well, what is it that people are unhappy with? And that's one of the things I wanted to cover, which I'm actually thrilled with. For me, is that a lot of you who've been following me for a while know that I have kid-sized feet. Typically, I wear about a 3.5 is the average size shoe that I wear in kids. And so normally I'd buy kids socks, because the adult socks, even the women's socks, usually only come in one size, and almost always the heel of the sock actually ends up on my Achilles tendon rather than on my heel. However, the Darn Tough socks actually, in just the women's sizes alone, come in, I think, 3 different sizes. And so they're small, which is what this is, actually fits me as well as the large kids, and they're perfect. But here's some of the issues some people have, and one of the reasons they gave it lower ratings was about the size. And if you talk to them, they'll tell you that they're made to fit snug, because they're considered more of an athletic type fit, you know, for hikers and whatever. And hiking socks are usually my favorite kind of socks anyway, because they have a thicker sole. And so most of these socks that I have here are all the hikers. So what I've been doing is buying a pair every, like, maybe once a week or so, trying to build my stock. These are my newest ones. I have yet to wear. And oh, I want to show you this too. These are the same ones, just different color. You can see these ones have been worn once and washed, and so they will shrink up a little bit once they've been washed. And you'll see that too in Patrick socks I'm going to show you. The only other style I did try were these ones. I just thought they were cute. I wanted to try a couple different styles so I could get familiar with them. I haven't actually worn them. I only tried them on once. Very comfortable, very well made, but definitely a much thinner sock than what I'm used to wearing. But I do like having socks like this on hand more for summer months, or with certain shoes that I have that fit a little snugger. These ones are usually more comfortable for me to wear with those particular shoes. Now these are called the Micro Crew. I like the length of them. They're just long enough that I can tuck the bottoms of my leggings into them, because some of my leggings I still need to cut. I've got them cut a little bit too long, and then they tend to fall down over my feet. And so I like to be able to tuck those in. and they're long enough to do that, for me to do that without being so long that I got to scrunch them down, because I don't like socks. I don't like sock bands on my calves. They do make a taller sock, which is going to be called your boot sock. And so they'll be about that long. And those ones are going to be a few dollars more. So that was another reason why I like the Micro Crew, is I just like the fit better, and then I can pay a few less dollars for those. Now, the ones that I got for Patrick, I did get the boot length because he does like taller socks. So this is his newest pair that just came in, because I've been ordering him a pair and me a pair, you know, just a little at a time. And these ones haven't been worn yet. And so you can see again the size difference. This is the same style, just different colors of socks. And so you can see the difference between the ones that were washed and the ones that have not been washed. He's only worn these ones, I think, once. And then the black ones were the first ones I got him. He's only got 3 pairs right now. The wear is beautiful, but you can see, because they tend to want to grab everything, they got a lot of lint stuck on there, and stuck on there well. But still very good socks. I highly recommend for both men and women. And even they do make them in children's sizes as well. So what I did was I did go looking through some other reviews, and yes, there were people that did get a hole here and there. It was rare, but I did find some. Now, some people, when I looked closer, like the one person, she said she only wore hers for an hour and they had signs of wear. But when I looked at the picture that she showed, the sign of wear was right here, or was actually right here at the back of the heel. And what it looked to me was that she had actually, it looked like they had been cut. It didn't have your usual signs of wear where it had thinned. It could have been a flaw in that particular sock, or she stepped on something that actually cut the sock. And that could happen if you're running around sock-footed a lot. And then the other one, she got a hole right here. Now, when that happens, it's not a wear hole. It's just, it's more like a weak point, and that's probably, again, was a flaw in the sock. And that's going to happen no matter what company. And they do guarantee their socks. And one thing that it looked like was these people never even bothered trying to contact the company to see if they could get a replacement pair of socks. But I did find another person that had said they got a hole in their sock after, and they had been wearing them for quite a long time. They got a hole, they contacted the company sent them brand new socks. Generally speaking, reading reviews, most of what I saw, again, most of the negative reviews were in reference to size. So you may want to really pay attention to that. You may need to go a size up to find something that fits you just right. And then, just look at the ones, even the ones that complain about the holes and the customer, or if they have any issues with customer service. You're always going to have somebody that's unhappy. Always. Just look at any of my videos. There's always that 1 or 2 people that doesn't matter what my video is about. They don't even watch the video. They only click on it long enough to give it a dislike, because they're unhappy, grumpy people that hate their lives. And so you're going to find that on products too. So you have to keep that in mind whenever you're talking about negative reviews. But it's still always a good idea to kind of look in contextually at all the different reviews. You can read all the great, wonderful reviews, and that's nice, but it's also a good idea to read the negative reviews and weigh it out. Well, is this something that's going to affect me or matter to me? Is this just a person's opinion because they don't like this particular style? Or is it actually a problem with the integrity of the product? And that's what you have to weigh out. And what I can see is in most cases, it was just a matter of opinion, or maybe the person was careless with what they had, or it was even just a defect that can happen. And if the company's going to replace it, then it's worth it. One of the things, as I'm trying to really ramp up our preparedness, one of the things I'm trying to do is not just stock up on food and other things like that. I'm looking at stocking up on quality items that are necessary, such as a good pair of socks. Now, yes, I have a video on darning, and probably what will happen is if I ever got a hole in any of these, I probably wouldn't bother exchanging them. I would probably just darn them, because I don't expect to see any holes in these for a long time. And I'd just go ahead and darn them anyway, because that's just me. But just knowing I've got that lifetime guarantee. Now, if I got a hole in them after an hour, then yes, I would then cash in on that lifetime guarantee. Knowing that I can have a good supply of socks now, and this is another reason why I wanted to get this video out a little sooner than waiting, is just in case. It's hard to say, you know, why you've got the funds to do it, and while the socks are available. Now's the time to start looking into these things. Now, I'm not an affiliate with Darn Tough Socks. I thought about contacting them, but I will link to you the Amazon links to the socks. And if you choose to buy through the Amazon link, then any Amazon link I put is an affiliate link, but it's an affiliate with Amazon. And that anytime I do that, if people choose to purchase through Amazon through those links, then yes, that does help us out a little bit financially. We don't get a lot, but for each little thing, it all kind of adds up, and it really does help us quite a bit and keeps us on YouTube and keeps us doing what we're doing. But you can also go directly to the company if you rather would. I think you can buy directly from the company, or you can find them in other places. And it might sound silly investing in socks, but I'm doing the same thing even with other clothes, such as I've been stocking up, you know, Patrick's favorite Carhartt jeans and Carhartt shirts. We've been stocking up on those when we get into town. One thing that's nice about the Coastal store, I did a video about that, I think maybe about 2 years ago, that's in town. So we only get in there once every few months or so. But we can get Carhartt clothes there and get 10% off because he's a veteran, including the chicken feed. And so you might have a store like that near you. Now, Coastal, I think, is only on our side of the states. It's relatively new. But these are some of the things you can consider. So yeah, I've been stocking up on t-shirts and jeans for him, work jeans for him, so that they're on hand when he needs them if something happens down the road where either we don't have the finances to buy them, or something happens and they're just unavailable and we can't get them at all. So we're kind of looking at all that stuff. So preparing and stocking up doesn't have to be just food. Think about the things that you use the most and you need the most. You know, socks are an important thing, just like Patrick's jeans and his t-shirts. I'm good with mostly secondhand tops, and then I make all my own skirts and the leggings that I wear under my skirts. And then if you're one that likes to knit socks, you can do something like that too. Get yourself some good high quality yarn. I recommend wool or a wool blend, something that's going to last a long time. But anyway, these socks here were knitted for me by one of my followers. I've only worn them once because I wanted to keep them nice for when I did this video. And thank you, Linda, for the socks. They're beautiful. I do love them. They're very comfortable. And anyway, she knitted these just for me because she knows that I don't knit yet. I crochet a lot, and if I ever get time, I have knitting needles and the whole bit, and I was going to teach myself how to knit, but life got too crazy. I haven't had time, so that's one of the many things that's got to wait until I have more time to learn. But when it comes to working smaller things, you know, even you can crochet socks. I don't like working with tiny needles, tiny hooks. That's just not my thing. I like working with bigger stuff when it comes to crochet. And I can do it quickly, but I just don't have the patience. And for me to get a really good fitting sock that is just the right thickness, that's really important to me, and I'm really happy with the Darn Tough socks. And you know, if I had the patience and the time to knit my own, I would probably do this rather than invest, so that's also an option. You just want to make sure you get yourself some good quality yarn if you're looking at something that's going to last for a long time. And that can be something you can do now too. You don't have to get a bunch of socks knitted up for yourself or your family. You can simply stock up on the yarn that you know is going to hold up for a long period of time, and at least have that there for repairs like darning socks or for making whole new socks. So me, I do keep some wool blend yarn that's, as you saw in my sock darning video, that I will link to down below, by the way, if you're curious on how to darn socks, or at least how I do it. And Patrick does make and sell 2 different types of sock darners, by the way, as well. So yeah, if you're interested, take a look at those links. You know, you might have a little bit of sticker shock at the price, but again, consider the fact, lifetime guarantee, made in the US, and high quality. And I think that kind of speaks for itself, and that, you know, it might have cost me as much for 1 pair of these socks as it did for a package of 6 pairs of cheap socks that were made in China. but I'm thinking this is going to be definitely worth it over time. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any other favorite brand socks that have lasted you for a long time, go ahead and share your testimony about those below, or about these if you've already been wearing the Darn Tough socks, or even if you knit your own, what kind of yarn do you like to use, what's your favorite, and share your tips about that as well. All right, well, thanks for watching. Take care, and God bless.